happened here? Good morning. I hope you guys got some sleep. Um, Appreciate you guys for joining us this morning. I'm looking to have a great week today. All right. You know, I'm really focused on some of the things that I want to accomplish this week. Some of the ideas that I want to stick to. And I think you should, be thinking the same. All right. If you haven't done the work by going over your levels and like finding ideas, all that fun stuff. If you're new here, welcome. Hit that like button for us. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I got to get to 1,000 subscribers before I can, get some of these individuals that I'd like to get on the live stream and interview and bring them on. They have a lot to offer. They've been in the industry for quite some time, and we could all have some use for that. All right, we can all learn something from them. But anyway, I appreciate you guys joining us. Let's get right into it, guys. I'm ready to kick some ass this week. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to kick some ass. So let's see what some of the news is this morning. I mean, we have the obvious Boeing. Still watching these levels, right? What did we say yesterday? Right? This low from Friday. All right. Now, again, I'm trying to walk this thing up for the S&Ps. And, you have somewhat of a tough area as you get up here. All right, you have a tough area. Here's what I'm thinking. This. Let's go to the SPY. Let's take it to the SPY real quick. So, just to make it easier, because you have this, kind of double, triple top up here at 371, 370, 371, and. That's what I'm looking for. So, I would like to see a little bit of a relief bounce here. And 371 is the target, or 471. I'm sorry, 471. So I was looking yesterday at a few of the names and that we talked about yesterday. There were some points like that I'm going to go over on AMD. AMD, from what I seen yesterday, is setting up really nice. There's a nice. I'm gonna go right to it. So sorry, excuse me for that. All right, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing, what you guys are looking at, what's some of the news. What's up, Ann? The title as what? As the Boeing? Because that's the biggest news of the week. Boeing 737 and CPI. Why wouldn't I? That's the biggest news of the week. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Sorry about that. I wrote. I sent a text message. I ended up. So there was a book that I wanted to remember, so I went ahead and put it in my text messages instead of my notes, and then I just sent it this morning to have it. So let me get logged in real quick. Oh lordy. I was hoping to get a little bit more sleep than I did. Let me grab my charger real quick. Give me 1 minute. I do. I do. I wish. I kind of would like to read more. So any self improvement, I'm all for it. Right? I'm all for it. I don't think the majority of people really know some of the stuff that's out there in some of these books. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get into it. Let's eat. Let's figure out where and what we're going to hunt, and let's think about our attack. What is going on here? Hold on one second. I don't know what's going on. Um, all right. That's what I was trying to do. I just wanted to see what else came out this morning. I was actually thinking about trading Oracle. That's funny that that came up. Obviously, Boeing. I'm surprised it was only down 8%. That's pretty crazy. But, you know, they got very lucky. Nobody got hurt. They really did. They got lucky. Alaskan Air Group stock also dropped. So United Airlines, I figured that, and I was going to say that yesterday, was you could probably watch these airlines. You know, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, Alaska Air Group. Uh, you know. All right, so we got some. Oh, cool! Look at this. I completely forgot about the whatchamacallits, the solar name. So shares of Enphase Energy rose 2.5% following an upgrade by Wells Fargo to an overweight. Too overweight from equal weight. I know I got a lot of stuff going on here, guys. I'm sorry. All right. So, all right. So we got First Solar and Enphase rose 2.5% following an upgrade by Wells Fargo to overweight from equal weight. The bank expects a rebound in residential solar and interest rates to come down. However, Wells Fargo downgraded First Solar to equal weight, citing its strong 2023 performance. The bank expects a rebound in resident. Wells Fargo downgraded First Solar to equal weight. So, okay. Because I was going to say that didn't make any sense. First shares. Okay. Shares of First Solar slipped 1%. Lululemon shares of Lululemon were down about 2% in the pre-market, even after Alzheimer's company raised its fourth. Athleisure company raised its fourth quarter earnings guidance. The apparel maker sees earnings per share between $4.96 to $5. That's up from a previous range of $4.85 per share to $4.93 per share. Mildly. All right. Shell, Dell, technology added to it. So we got a lot of stuff here. And this was what I was waiting for yesterday. Going over the watch list, going over just some of the more liquid names and waiting to see what type of news we get, right? Upgrades, downgrades. This is where the money's made. So it's really funny to me that people, some people go after names like Boeing, like they're too good to trade that. This is where the liquidity is. This is where institutional money flow is going to be. This stock will move. More there is a more likelihood that it is going to give you a decent move than it's not. Right? Because it's funny to me that like people seem every time that there's news they seem like they're too good for it. Right? Oh, everybody's talking about Boeing. Like they're the cool kids in town. They don't want to talk about Boeing. Well, actually they seem like a freaking idiot because if you go ask anyone on Wall Street, what are they going to be trading today? What are they going to be trading today? And it's pretty damn obvious what they're going to be trading. So if you're one of them, you may want to rethink what it is that you're doing. Because this is liquidity. At the end of the day, this is liquidity. This is going to possibly be institutional money flow that will move the markets. Institutions make markets, by the way. It's the institutions, not us. The big money. Right? They make markets. You think it's the market makers, it's not. It's actually the institutions. All right? So when the news hits the tape like this, I can assure you this volume, and that's what I look for. If you're not one of those people, that's fine. But I am, right? This is what I look for. Right? This is because I want institutional money flow at my back when I'm in a trade. I don't want the stock to sit there and do nothing. So let's go into what we think we can get out of Boeing. So we're currently sitting. Let me look at the 5 minute chart real quick. I know you just said something. Let me read the chat real quick. I wish we could play music on this. I read Atomic Habits, Intelligent Investor, Think and Grow Rich. Rich. I haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad or Think and Grow Rich. In a poll that my father bought in Chicago. Yeah, how did you like it? And Atomic Habits. How did you like them? That's a lot of the ones. Those are some of the names that a lot of people go to. Um, I can say, um, I'm actually so, and I am actually making one. I'm actually writing one right now, and that was kind of some of the stuff that I was doing this weekend because you know here's what I'm getting at. All right, this whole industry in the markets. If you go anywhere, all right, if for somebody to learn this skill, they're gonna need a lot of money, and what they may think or say is not a lot of money. They'll use the excuse, well, if you can't give us $1,000, $5,000, a few $1,000s, then you shouldn't be trading. Okay, okay, right? That's a sales ploy. All right, and these people pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to get an education. And what happens? Their subscription ends and they don't have anything anymore. Okay? So there needs to be a physical product. And I have been thinking, how can I get something to individuals to have and to keep? All right? And that's what I've been working on. And it is pretty much a roadmap to what I use for trading to stay profitable, right? So I've been working on that. I've been working on that because it's important, right? Because there's so much that I still haven't even got into here on these lives that you know I just haven't had a chance to do these lessons, and it's the best and easiest way that I can do it. You know. All right, let's jump into this. So we went to CNBC. It's already almost 9. All right, so Boeing. Let's go to the daily chart real quick. All right, so let's do this, guys. So this is a nice break and hold of that double top. All right, and I will be looking because I'm telling you guys right now, the minute this thing pops or the minute this bell opens, I'm almost certain that this thing is going to do what I think it's going to do. All right, so 231.50, 231.50. All right, so what did we say? We said that this pivot area right here with this double top, because you had here this double top, and the support from that double top was a previous resistance, and it broke it on volume, and it started to hold it. But then it immediately broke it and retested it. And last night we said, hey, this pretty much solidifies that these two areas are going to be key. All right, those two areas are going to be key. So 230.50. Okay, 230.50. If we get that break, I'm going to look for 220, guys. That's crazy. Believe it or not, you know what? We got to look at the 50-day moving average actually, because that'll be our first guardrail right there. All right, the 50-day moving average is what that thing. It's just think about if you're a car and you lose control, and what are you going to hit before you go off the road? You're going to bump into the guardrail. Well, that guardrail is going to be the 50-day moving average. All right, so you'll find a little bit of buyers, and as this thing pulls back, you're going to have people long term buying this name at a discounted price, or what we don't know yet is a discounted price. It was good. I would like to rank it in my second and hold encyclopedia. Talked aloud how people react on money and want to make money doing jobs and run for pensions, etc. So, yeah, and they're right, and they're right. It's like, it's I think because so I feel like at least here in the United States, there used to be more services from people instead of corporations and companies, right? Um, Not to say that we still don't have it, but I know, like with my dad was always providing a service. Um, he was always providing a service to others, whether it was before or not before, but weekends, afternoons, and I would work with him, right? I would work with him, um, doing different things. And I think that that's what this world needs more of is good, solid services from one another where we can all feed each other, right? Where we can all feed each other. So, 50-day moving average. I just think again that a little bit of that is missing because people are quick to go work for Amazon. People are quick to go work for some of these tech companies. You know, you obviously have your lawyers and doctors, but so 50-day moving average 226. Now again, I told you guys yesterday and Saturday that I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait to see where we opened up at because it's important. I can't just I don't know where this gap down is going to be at. So for me, I had to wait for this thing to open up. All right, so 50-day moving average 225. Is that what that is? 226, we'll call it 225.75. It'll probably bounce down a little bit or up. It'll probably go up a little bit as it pulls down. I'm just gonna write here 220. Well, I have the box there, so I don't need to do that. This is going to be the target, guys. All right. So if we got to get time, now you got to watch. If I trade this, now it's important to manage it because to the volatility could get killed on this thing, right? And it's gapped down. So when this thing opens up, the volatility is going to be pretty high. Okay. So as the day goes on, you start this. You're like, man, this thing's moving, and I'm not making any money. Did you buy close enough to the money? Did you buy the right option? Are you managing it as it's giving you the extensions? Don't be scared to take it. I don't care if this thing continues to go 1,000% and you only collected 80. Okay, take your money and we moving on. All right, we don't look backwards. We're looking forward. That's what we're doing this year. If you guys just joined us, if you could do me a solid, I hate to do this. You guys can hit the like button if you want, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. For anybody that is new, I hate to be on repeat here. Trust me, I don't like hearing myself say it over and over. But I want to be able to bring some institutional players on this stream, and you would help me get there. So for that, appreciate it. All right, and if you guys have any questions, don't be scared to ask. Any tickers. All right, so that's my plan with Boeing, right? First thing I'm looking for is the 50-day moving average, and this is going to be the target, 220s, that 220 area. All right, it doesn't mean that it's going to do it today, but this is where I'd like her to get to. All right, where's this at? 230. We're at 231, trying to bounce off this level. It's a double bottom here, and I think we got a straight shot right to this 50-day. So that's what I'm looking for. It's pretty simple. I think it's pretty simple what we're looking for here. It could bounce, but I don't think it's going to, because this means it's like what happens now, right? It's just like, I don't know if I explained it yesterday, that in automotive industry, what happens when they bring out a new motor or a new, any of these companies bring out new motors or do new things. They have to troubleshoot throughout the first 2 to 3 years to 4. It's all fixing the kinks on what parts didn't last, what material. They find out what they should have used and shouldn't have used. And you can't really do that with a plane. You know what I mean? You can't do that with 100 to 170 passengers on board, 20,000 feet in the air. There's the error the margin of error is 0. There is no margin of error. So, it's a tough game to play, and I think that that's why the stock hasn't recovered. There's way too much risk, right? It's just the whole airplane industry offers too much risk. Out of nowhere, you buy this thing and something happens, and here you are, you're down. You're getting your head taken off. But again, you got to give them all credit. They all do a hell of a job. They do the best they can do, and it's not like this news is, you know, at least in the United States, that you're not getting this news all the time. That things are happening, pilots or this or that. I give a lot of credit to that whole industry. I really do. All right. So here in Nepal, people run Olympic marathon to get that government job here in Nepal. It's called Laksuya Awag. And do you know the salary of it is just $300? Wow. You know what? When you told me a full meal, you told me a full meal, and it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me when you told me how much a full meal was. All right. So that's Boeing. That's crazy. That's crazy. But again, there's that foreign exchange, right? Um, so let me see here. Let me see here. All right, so this is a major level here. You have this small double bottom. Um, I gotta hurry up and get through this because I want to talk about AMD. AMD's got a pretty nice setup that I want to look at. So if we break that 50-day moving average, guys, watch this double top back here. There is a bit of a double top. See, it all goes back to this level right here. I think this is where Boeing's going, 218. I think this is the final stop right here. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to put a dotted line, and we'll see if we get there in a couple days. All right, we'll see if we get there. All right, so that's Boeing. Let's keep it moving. So I went over the SPY. You guys know the plan for the S&Ps, right? We want to walk this thing up. All right, these dotted lines. Oh, I have it on futures, not this. So right now, what we've done is we have once again turned Friday's pre-market into support. Looks like we're putting in a lower. We have nothing but lower highs as well. Okay, nothing but lower highs. But I want to start to walk this thing up. Oh no, Nvidia's popping. I told you guys it was going to go to like 510, 120. I figured it was going to try to break out along with like Microsoft. So I got to hurry up. It's 9 o'clock. Damn it. That's not going to help my AMD case. It's not going to help me with AMD. Is there any news? Sector update. Oh, there is that technology. There is that tech is planning to start production of its H20 artificial intelligence chip designed for China. Q2, Reuters reported, citing two unnamed sources familiar with the matter. Nvidia was nearly 1% higher recently Monday pre-market activity. Okay, nothing. What's going on with Nvidia? So AI chip market is grappling with the repercussions of the U.S. regulations to have barred the sale of its high-performance AI chip. All right. Okay, I was looking at Alibaba. Tencent Holdings have indicated their intentions to substantially reduce their orders of NVIDIA chips compared to their original plans when NVIDIA offered its now restricted products, the Wall Street Journal reports. Okay. All right. So I see what's going on there. I see what they're trying to do. So major Chinese firms, including AI pioneer Baidu and TikTok owner ByteDance, are also turning to domestic chip producers like Huawei Technologies, reducing their reliance on NVIDIA offerings. That's because they've already gotten them. It's like it's a bit too late. They've already got the chips, so it's not like they wouldn't be able to get the chips. It's not like they can't just pick up that phone or send somebody to another country and go inspect it, right? And they make it themselves. That's the thing here, right? That's the thing. All right, so I want to check out NVIDIA because NVIDIA, I want to show you guys, if I get this opportunity, I'm going to take it. Oh, it did it this morning. Right here, guys. Um, see, it already did that. Shit. This is what I was looking at. 137. 137, 136. It's already done it. As you can see here, you have 137, and it pulled right down into it right here this morning. I seen it when I rewatched the live stream yesterday. Oh, dude, that would be awesome, bro. So here in Nepal, people... Okay, I read that. Oh, absolutely. That'd be sick, bro. That'd be awesome. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Even the views will help because I ended up... whatchamacallit? I ended up... I want to be able to bring some people on here, right? They can really talk markets and cycles, and I'm telling you guys, you can learn a lot from it. We go over charts and all that fun stuff. So yeah, anything would help. You gotta upload more videos, bro. It will take ages to take you to 1,000 subs by doing the live streams. If you teach the same thing in the videos and do constantly, I guarantee you 1,000 subs in 3 months. Yeah, I think I got to go to the shorts. I got to go to TikTok. I got to expand. I know, we'll get there. I think we can. Because we're gonna shut it down. Because here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna trade our ass. We are going to perform, and I think the performance, I think the performance is what's gonna matter. So, but I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Um, So 137, right? It did it pre-market. 137 is it was the level I was looking at yesterday. So what do I look for now? Um, it's already done that. Possibly Friday's close. Possibly. Man, this stinks, man, because so give me 138.80, 138.50 area, 138.50, and see if we can't take AMD higher. If Nvidia is going to go, AMD is going to go. Possibly could go. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. All right. Let's look at the longer term. So again, so it's already taken my trade from me, and that's pretty unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Sometimes it is what it is. We have resistance up here at 140 to 142. 142. I'd like to trade AMD this week. I want to see if I can catch a bounce on AMD. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Let me see something real quick. So the S&Ps look like they're trying to put in a lower high. So 468.50 on the SPY is the level that I want to see if we can reclaim. All right. It's going to be important. Now, all you have to do is go to the Qs and see if they've already broken up through that area. And again, I'm going to repeat 468.50. 468.50. Come on. I'm just trying to get my chart. All right. Okay. All right, so let's go look at this end phase. Vision Pro headset launches in US February 2nd. Oh, cool. It's going to be so expensive, though. It's going to be so expensive for that. and I also think that I have to get better at speaking and stuff like that, too, and I do. I got to get better at some of the way I talk, the analysis. It's all good, Just keep it moving, right? Just show up. All you got to do is show up. Because if you don't show up, then you can't succeed, right? All right, let's do this. So AMD, I'm gonna have my eyes on. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna trade this today. We don't really have anything stopping us to to take this thing higher. There's not really any overhead supply that, in my book, in my book, to sorry, just give me 1 second, guys. I want to see if I can. Yeah, I want to see if we can try to get this up to the gap fill on AMD. It doesn't have news this morning, so it may not do it today. So I'll be a little patient with it. It's a pretty clear rejection there on Friday. All right. So if we pull back and hold this level, I'm just curious to see if we can still get a 138 test. This was the level. All right, so let's keep it moving. So 137. I'm sorry, I have 88. I have a migraine right now, and I have ADHD, so it's not helping me. 137 was the level that that I wanted to take long. I seen it yesterday, after the live stream, and I was like, oh shit, 137, like that's our area. But if we hold 140 and we just see this thing consolidate, and if I start to see that breakout, I would get long even if I have to pay up for it. Um, you just gotta watch because of, you still have a little. You have to get through this area, right? You got to get through this area where these wicks are, right? You got to get through this area, right around here. You got to get through that to be able to get up to the gap fill. All right. All right, so that's AMD. Let's go to Enphase. So there was news on Enphase, Eli Lilly, Lululemon. I'm sorry, and obviously the airlines. We went through Boeing. We went through AMD. Um, let's look at Enphase and First Solar. So Enphase had an upgrade this morning. It was upgraded by Wells Fargo. And again, like we always say, for every upgrade, there's a downgrade. ENPH is the ticker. All right, let's go to the daily chart. 118. 118. Let's go here. So we traded the solar names a couple weeks ago. It was a really nice trade. We've done pretty well, and I'm happy to report that we've been, the oh shit. Hold on 1 second. Do edit. Let me get my moving averages and stuff up here. All right, sorry about that. All right, so we're trading at 118 right now. I wish I could have pre-market on my daily chart here. Let's see what's going on. All right, so it's still bumping up against that resistance, but it's holding. This is a nice hold from Thursday's low. It's a really nice hold. Let's see, what is that? 118. I'm just gonna put a dotted line there because I don't think it's that crazy of a level, but let's see here. And if you guys have any, if you guys have any ideas or trade ideas that you guys would like to uh, cover, just throw them in the chat. Appreciate it. If you guys could hit the like button for us. All right, so you can see here the end phase is pulled back into the 100-day moving average. This is a clean setup. Look at this. This is a perfect setup for a long. This actually is probably going to be at the top of my list right now. All right, and that's ENPH. All right, this is a really nice setup. What do you guys see here on the hourly chart? You have a really nice double bottom here, a double bottom right on the 200 or the 100-day moving average. Okay, which is also lining up with what? This previous pivot high. Let's go to the daily chart. Okay, let's go to the daily chart. And what else is this? What else is this, guys? Look at this. What else do you see? That is a major, major level of support and resistance. From back here, resistance, you break it, starts to pull back in and holds that area. This is a nice trade, guys. So it has reclaimed its major support level for the past 2 years. And this, to me, could be a really nice long. All right, where do we want to look to take this thing? Well, our first target could be this gap fill. All right, you have a little gap here. Okay. Or, in the same token, we could say that it's broken it. But again, this is an area. You can see these wicks. So don't think that it's broken it. Okay, really, if you want to get technical, I mean, the level could be like 110 to like 115. It's an area. Okay, these are areas. If I go to a weekly chart, even, this is a nice setup. This is really nice. I like this. Looks like it's pretty clear that it broke it, but I think you got to pull back and test the previous highs. And I think that's all it is. This is a low volume pullback. All right, so I'm going to look to be long ENPH. I want to look to be long. And again, I'm just looking to take this thing back up to the gap fill. And I think we need another test of this level here of 130. All right, this gap fill up here. That's what I'm looking for. There's a double top up here. Hold on one second. Yeah, 130. So this could be a nice trade today. This could be a nice trade. You have a gap up here at 122.65. Again, I want to look for another extension back to this area. I want to look to get, start for EMPH to get back up to 130. Let's go take it in. Let's go bring the time in. All right. You can see here's triple top. Let's see where rates are, because these are going to be vulnerable to rates. So let's just pull up a 10-year. It's important to do that with these names and to make sure if you're trading them that you don't have earnings. Okay, that there isn't some type of earnings or another catalyst to get to mess you up. Okay, let's go to like 2 hour. Shit. Yeah, so it looks like, yields have risen to that 4-1 like we said, and it looks like we could start to pull back again. So that'll help our case. Let's look at the dollar, because that's going to help our SPY case as well. All right, and unfortunately, if I got to be honest, I want to see the dollar pull back to 102 and then see if it'll bounce. Being honest. Just being honest here, okay? I think the dollar's still got a bit of life in it. So that's ENPH. Let me really zoom in on what it is and where my entries are going to be, guys, real quick. All right. Yeah, 102 on the dollar. 1021. All right, let's do it. All right, so I could probably get rid of this line here, but I'm not going to. All right, so we're on an hourly chart. You can see here that it's bumping into that resistance. I don't like that. So it's not. I'm not gonna. Just let me analyze this really quickly. So this thing is going. I feel like we need a pullback, and that's what I'm going to want to do is grab this when the bell opens. What time is it? 9:18. Shit, the markets get ready to open. All right, so I want to see if EMPH pulls in a bit. I want to see this thing pull in and see if I can grab the long if there's volume. And I want to get long EMPH. This is going to be a stock. All right, well, I'm going to warn you guys right now. If you're a new trader, this is not a stock you need to trade, because you're going to market order in and you may get screwed on your fills. Okay, you got to try to limit order in, get time, and you want to also limit order out. These spreads are pretty wide. So 120 is still resistance. Okay, it's still resistance. So one of two things: if we can pull back to that 100-day and we hold, then the obvious long is back up to 119, 120 area. I want to see if we can start to try to break this level and hold it. You have a couple gaps here. All right, you have a few gaps here. All right, there's a few gaps. And where are we at? 118.45. 118. So I would like to see 116. I want to see if I can get long at 116, kind of right around the close Friday. Now I have to bring up pre-market. I have to bring up pre-market to see if it already made it support. All right, to see if it already made it support. And my exits are going to be easy. 120, right? 120. We get the extension to 122. I'm taking it in front of that gap. Now you got to remember, like, for if we get this entry, like, how much does it move in a day? It's probably going to move at the most 3-4%. Maybe you get the gap fill today. Maybe. All right, and that's down from 116. So, you know, could it pull out an 8% type of day and give us a 6% type of day and get to 123? It could. It could. That's, you know, that's if it drops again, if it drops back down into this area. All right. So that's that. That's ENPH with the upgrade. 120. So 116 entry. Exit. All right. You could take it off in front of like 118, from 116 to 119, 120, 18. You know, as it gives it to you, don't be scared to take profits. Just because I have or have not taken profits doesn't mean you should be doing exactly what I'm doing. All right? Because it's important to just lock in those gains. You know? You got to build your net worth up. You got to get these winners up under your belt and start accumulating some money. All right? It's important. All right, so here is also something else that I'm looking at. All right, what's this going to? Shit, I gotta hurry up. What's this going to? That little line, because I mean, that's kind of, I think that's the bigger. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. And I mean, it actually pinned down to it, so maybe I shouldn't move it because it did wick there. What I'm looking at is this line here, this small line, and wondering why I have it there, because I feel like this is the area. Because this here at 120 on the button is the like support area was broken and now turned 120 into resistance. So you have to watch yields. If yields continue to pull back, then I want to see 120. I want to see 120. So exit 120. That's one. Let's see, resistance. Shit. So here is the other level. This is the gap fill. And 122. So 118, 120, 122 if I get the long. Alright, and then depending on where I get it, that's going to be 6-7% there, and I don't think we're going to do any more than that today. Alright, so that's ENPH. Alright, that's ENPH. Let me set my stuff up, guys. Give me 1 second. Alright, if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. If you could, give us a like. I'm begging. I'm begging for your likes. No, but seriously, subscribe, hit the like button. Let's have a great day. Let's have a great week. Let's start this year off strong, and we're gonna finish it off strong. Let's do it, guys. We have a lot of things to trade here. We have a lot of opportunity. You gotta yeah. See, the thing is with just uploading more videos, it's like the videos have to matter. I have to get better at speaking. I got to get better at like editing some of these videos, and it's going to take time. I just started this channel, I think 6 to 8 months ago, so it is still fairly new. You know, if you go back to anybody that's tried to do, you know, that's tried to do this, you know, you're going to see that they've done it for a few years, at least. You know, so you got to put in the work. You got to pay your dues, man. You got to pay your dues. It's important, you know. Got to pay your dues. All right, so, man, I still like this 120 area. I just don't want a whole bunch of lines, you know. I feel like 120 is where it's at. You know what I mean? I feel like 120 is where it's at. You guys know that song, Where It's At? It's an old one. Alright, guys. I'm not sure if we have any bond auctions today. I haven't looked at the banks because there's no reason to try and short banks right now. Okay? They may pull back. We thought about shorting the banks Thursday and Friday. We got long Nvidia instead. Okay? We got long Nvidia instead. Why do you not want to think about shorting banks? I mean, you could. They could give you a pullback. But Jack, the Fed is providing liquidity to these banks. Why do you think JP Morgan and some of these names have ran like they have? It's because the Fed said, I got you, man. I got these cheeseburgers. And the banks are eating it up. Right? So I just be careful. Now, if you want to talk about like investment banks, that could be, you could be on to something there. But your Bank of America's, J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, look at this run. Look at that daily chart, bottom right screen. Look at that daily chart, guys. You don't want to know what type of percentage move this is in the stock itself. All right, that's almost 25%. J.P. Morgan, that's a big move for J.P. Morgan. All right. It's just tested the 50-day. We do have wicks. You do have that going for you. So, where are we opening up at? So we did drop below this area. What I would look for is another run to like 172.40, 172.50. That's where I would look if I wanted to be short. Okay? That's where I would look. Mm, mm, that's, yeah, yeah. 172.40, 172.50. That's where I would look. Okay? That would give you another lower high. All right, I'm gonna put a dotted line there. I don't want to because I feel like I have the levels for this already, and I think they're good where they're at. All right, but we'll watch and let's just see if we do hit that level. All right, what do we got? So 2 minutes. What are you guys watching today? I'm curious. What you guys watching? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. You did that. Oh, nice. Somebody liked it. Sweet. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Be prepared. Stick to your game plan. Don't deviate. Don't deviate. Unless something happens. Unless you say, "Hey, my my thesis was wrong here. I need to move it. I need to move out of this position or I need to start taking some profit." What do you guys think about that? It's pretty sick, ain't it? Not that. That's pretty sick. I like that. And this. I don't really care for the lion too much. Maybe if it was a bull, it'd be pretty sick, wouldn't it? All right, JP Morgan's pooping. JP Morgan's pooping. Let's do this. Do you know I did? Do you know I did? I met you. I was just trading and I was feeling lonely. I wanted a streamer that did not have two viewers and who can take tips from suggestions. Awesome, man. Sweet. That's awesome, bro. Awesome. All right, let's do this. What are we doing? ENPH, Boeing, ENPH. Let's get it. Let's get it. ENPH. There you go. Right off the gates, guys. ENPH. Right into where? Right into the level that I took away. Right into that level I took away. All right, ENPH has got to hold that level. She got to hold, baby. She got to hold. All right, we said ENPH 116 would be the entry if we felt this would be a long. 116 entry. You could actually say 117 to 116. Either one. Could be 116. Look, and it's falling out of bed. It's shooting right down into that level now. So it cracks 117. All right, let's see what happens here at 116. That is where I want to see if it can hold yesterday's close. All right, you may have people in a hurry trying to get out of this name. No, not at 2. I need to go back to Boeing. I'm screwing up right now. All right, so like I said, look at it meeting in the middle there. Right? So it doesn't surprise me that this area is trying to hold. This was Friday's. You found some buyers there on Friday. I mean, I still think it's a bit much for this name. I'm gonna give it a little bit. Let's go to BA charts. Let's go, guys. I don't want to miss these trades. All right, so Boeing's pulling back into the 50-day right now. Let me go to the daily moving average, make sure it's still there. Yeah, see how it went up a little bit, guys? See how it's moved up? We're sitting right at it. All right? Fuck. Excuse my language. Sorry. I'm just trying to hurry because I know that, you got to get it while the getting's good. All right? Boeing, what did we say? What did we say with Boeing? See if we get a bounce, okay? And see if we can get 230 entry on Boeing. And I want to look to take this thing lower. I doubt it gives it to us. I don't think it's going to give it to us. But if it does, I will be there. 229, it already wicked there. But I would like 230. I would like to try and get 230. 229.97. I think I got to take this because it's starting to turn this area into resistance right now. Let's go to the flexible grid. See here, guys. You guys see how the implied volatility on these is just insane right now because of, what's going on. So this is why you got to be careful. All right, so there you probably get. Here's the entry. Shit. Damn. That's still so much. That's still so much, guys. Like, it's so much. That's a shame. Like I said, when you get volatility and news like this, they're going to be very expensive. And if you cannot hang on and let the stock do what it does, or let the stock do what it needs to do, this is how people lose money. Good morning, Bingo. How you doing, bud? This is why a lot of people lost money the last few years, like in 2022, because they're paying $300 for options. They're paying $295 for a daily, right? And they can't hang on. They can't sit through those swings, right? The implied volatility is up, and the minute it goes against them, the theta kills those contracts, and that's why so many people lost. That's why people lost their money. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know how to trade these names. 205 is way out of the way. It's just I may have to buck up and I'm going to try and be patient. It already hit this. I want to see if it already made that resistance. So I think this is the last line of defense here. And I think it starts to break down now, guys. Like, I would be taking this trade right now. I can't pay this. I can't pay this amount. I just can't. All right? I feel like it's too much. It looks like 231 still hasn't been resistance. It made it resistance earlier. It broke through it, turned around, made it support, bounced off of it, and then broke it. It never retested this level right here on the 1 minute chart. It's like 231. All right, so good. I was a little late to my charts being gapping down was bigger than I expected. Was it? I mean, we said yesterday that it would gap down to that area. I don't think it is. It's down 8%. I don't think that's, I mean, you're talking about a piece of the plane, the door coming off, and they're lucky it didn't kill somebody. What if it would have went in the cab and got blown off and got in the cab and took somebody's head off? Like, some pretty serious shit, So I wouldn't have been surprised if it was down 15 to 18%. I would not have been surprised. So, and that's a lot for Boeing. It's a lot. Sorry about that. I know I had that in the mic. It's not going to give me the entry. So, I'm willing to let this go. Let's see. I was at 220, right? I was at 220. Here it goes. It's going to break. There it is. Look, they're trying to hold it up, but there's 2,000 sell share order. So is this going to be a double bottom? I'm here to make money, so I'm gonna go over to let's go over and look at ENPH real quick. I think, man, I want to see if Boeing will bounce. All right, so ENPH is not bouncing off of this level. What did we say? 116 area. So it's just testing Friday's close right now. That's the close from Friday, right there. Um, so maybe she's wanting to come back down to the 100-day, but it already did that this morning. Let's go look at AMD. So I was looking for AMD, guys. Bingo. I was saying earlier that after last night's live stream, I looked at this level on AMD, but it did it this morning. 137. A 137 entry long on AMD. It did it pre-market. I was a little late getting up as well because, I didn't get to sleep till a little later than I wanted to. But feeding my cats and stuff like that, and this would have been a nice entry for the long. Even just buying the stock outright, collecting a few percent. I missed that. I missed this yesterday. I didn't identify this until after the live stream yesterday. So we'll see what happens up at this area if it starts to pull itself back. It might give you a 139 entry, or a test of Friday's close. Just watch and see what the overall markets are doing before you just randomly throw shit at the wall. Excuse my French. All right, let's go back to Boeing. We'll go back to EMPH and some of these names that have news. And this was the other aspect to this that I thought it could start to just trade flat. So right now you got a bit of a double bottom. And I still think it's going to break. I do. I think this thing is going to 220. I think it's got a destined home for 220. I wish I could play music, man. This stinks. I don't like not having some music. I wish there was some way that YouTube could figure out. If you could just if I could just put the title or something in there, and let's see, 235, 230. Let's do it. So if you guys are just joining us, we're trying to get to 1,000 likes. I know it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but people get 1,000 likes in a day. 1,000 subscribers. If you guys could help us out with that, we're getting the party started. I'm going to do a giveaway. If we're able to get to 1,000 likes this year, I'm going to do a giveaway. And then, on top of it, I have some people that I'd like to bring on the stream. And it's a little hard for me to do that without at least 1,000 likes. Some of these institutional guys have some knowledge and time in the markets that, some of those things you just can't buy. So they're just, you can't buy time. So let's see here. What's everybody watching? Are you guys just watching pretty much the Come on, she's trying. Look at the low volume dry up. You could get a bounce here. I think she bounces here. You're gonna start getting some people nervous. Look at all that buy side volume that just came in. And again, the target for this is going to be 231. I still think we need to get there. I still think 231 needs to be tested. Trust in your analysis. Whether it's different from mine. All right, I still think that this area here has got to be tested again.
Jim, on the consumer itself, a couple points. One is just energy. Saudi's cutting February official selling price. Wholesale gas, we're going to make another run.
Sticking to the 90 MA. That's an entry point. All right, that's an entry point. If you don't use it for what it's supposed to be used for, a lot of people don't do that. Watching for NVIDIA. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I seen that it actually started to take off earlier. No, God, bingo, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm with you, but just wait. You're going to get a better opportunity, and the contracts will be cheaper. I promise. Save yourself the misery. You got a lot of people that were trying to short, thinking that they were going to finally get this gap. Finally something was going to happen and try to get back down here. This is a nice high tight pennant. Just, I would be patient, buddy. I would. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you what to do, but I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Look at that volume. Do not fight that. I wouldn't. Look at that. That is the biggest volume you have had in nearly 2 weeks. And that 15-minute candle isn't even done. All right? If it wants to start pulling back now, that's cool. I just don't, Man, we were long Friday. That's crazy. Look at it go, guys. Look at it go. Well, was there any news with this bingo? Okay, the SPY is pulling into that area that I told you guys to watch for it to break and become support. So the SPY was coming into resistance. Now it's coming into support. Look for a nice bounce on the SPY. The S&Ps and the Qs. What time is it? It's 9:45.
I do. And Jim, to your point, you've been talking about it fueling a potential refresh cycle in the PC market for
Man, I wish there was a way I could have some music playing here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This pullback into this support level that I was talking about yesterday, 468.50. Look at that. Look at that beautiful pullback, bounce, extend to a new high. Look at that. This thing's got to get some volume with it, though. It's got to bring the volume.
Comfortable just talking at inanimate objects. Yet. I guess it's generational. Wake up and smell the coffee.
Kramer's going ham right now.
I'll try. I can smell again and taste. So hopefully it wasn't too bad, Dave. We did miss you. It's good to have you back.
All right, I'm forgetting some of my ideas as well. So there's a nice SPY long right there, man. That's a beautiful setup. That was really nice setup. That could have been a nice scalp. Let's look at AMD. Shit. Damn. They're taking the longs from us. Tell him, Kramer. Look at that volume today on the semis, guys. Semis are roaring. Semis are roaring. So AMD's already up 3%, and we're 15 minutes into the market, and it's up 3%. All right, so you might get a second half type of day where it pulls back like it did last week, but you can sense that this strength is not something you want to fight. Don't fight it. Look at that volume. You haven't had that much volume in weeks. All right. Really, all the volume's on NVIDIA. Just be careful. Don't fight the trend. If it's going higher on strength, just pay up for the long and, don't get cute. Everybody has their own trading style and plan. What does that mean for solar names? Are we going to get a bounce on solar names if technology and the Qs are starting to bounce? All right, so what did we say? I said 116 entry, and it looks like it's holding 116. So I'm going to try and, let's see, what do we have? See, that I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay $200 for that. It's just crazy. And I don't want to buy too far out of the money. Like look at this delta. This has a, this is a 122 with a delta of 29 cents for $1.50. I don't know. I need to see a pullback. It's under VWAP. I need to see a pullback and hold. On. I guess there's something with Tiger Woods.
SLDB, solid bioscience,
Alright, so here's on. Is it? I figured it would be. I know the volume today all around. I said it yesterday that like I would look for like today to be the day to put on your trades, or like look, and then like Tuesday and Wednesday to be like boring days. What did you say the volume was on Tesla? You said it's incredible. It's I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, Ann. All right, my guy. It's actually very low. Look at this. This is a 15-minute chart. Right, I take you here. All right, that's a 15-minute chart of 6 million. When, you know, on average, on the low average side of things, 6 to 8 million in the first 15 minutes. All right, so if I go to Nvidia, look at Nvidia. It's a little bit different. Annie, you see what I'm talking about? Look at that compared to yet. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is real institutional buying going on, guys. First of the year buying. I told you guys they were buying the dip. Let's look for the bounce. All right, we talked about this. Talked about it yesterday to see if we could start seeing them buy the dip. I brought it up. I said, look, at the end of the day, they're all buying the dip. They're buying the dip. We got to get long. We got to look for, like, to start making some ground to the upside. Man, these things just left right out the gates. Right out the gates, they bounced. You said Tesla, right? Yeah, the volume is still average. The volume is still average. All right. You can see you had double the volume last Wednesday, and that was low. Look at days like this. Look up here, like 2 weeks ago. That's volume. Right? Look at that. That's way higher than this. Right? All up here. So it actually looks like Tesla could be a short here. If it doesn't break up through this level, I would look for Tesla to pull back at like 237.98ish. Man, I just didn't see this guy. I mean, I seen it, but this stinks. I want to find something. This sucks. These guys are buying right out the gates. All right, so EMPH is going off. What did we say? 116 entry, and there it goes. It was hard for me to pay that price. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to pay a 122 What's the percentage on that from the low? Yeah, that's 6%. You know, I can't. I'm not spending that much on these options. This could be a little bit of a short there too. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah, I would refresh it. Because even on both my trading views, I have one over here, and on these charts, you know, semiconductors, semiconductors. That's where the volume is. Boeing, semiconductors. Fuck. I I guess I just got to take this AMD. That's a nice test of 142. Damn it.
Most scammers aren't this obvious, but they can do serious damage. Here's what you can do to protect yourself against fraud. Never invest with anyone who isn't properly registered. Never give your social security number or credit card numbers to anyone who
Let's see here. Let me
always remember that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
let's look here.
Learn how to protect yourself. It's your best
And if you guys are just joining us, if you guys could hit the like button, be the kind thing to do, and it would help us. You know, it would help the algorithms push us to someone that would like to be here. All right, so there's AMD. I still think Boeing's got a pullback in it. So you're setting up for a double bottom here on Boeing. All right, it's setting up for a double bottom.
It's time for Jim to stop trading.
Yeah, I like Concentrated Fancier. It's a name that my child trusts on. But I built new one's a CEO one on Friday, and it looks like the beer, which these guys are Modelo, Corona, not affected so far by the GLP-1s. I mention this because I am in GLP-1 headquarters, the JP Morgan.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a Fibonacci retracement on this. All right, and I want to see.
Yeah, well, we talked on Friday about your view that there might need to be some portfolio management at Constellation, right, between spirits and beer.
Yes, absolutely. I think that the spirits, what we call them, the clears and the browns, we've talked about the bourbons, the gins, the vodkas.
So look at that 38.2 up there at 234. The 235 level, I'm sorry. 235.
Jim, we've been showing the graphic of the companies that are going to be joining you over the next couple of days, but just raise the curtain on what the next 48 hours is going to be like for you.
And that 235 is that double top.
What we're looking for, it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a $3 winner. So far today, guys, two trades.
A lot of these stocks are at their high. Just had a run. I think people recognize maybe these companies.
All right, so here's AMD coming into the trade line. Very nice volume with I briefly looked at Coin. Oh man, guys, look at Coinbase. Coinbase is selling off nice. All right, so it's got room down to 140. 140, 135. I mean, really, it's just testing 147. I need to not jump back and forth between names. See, look at the implied volatility on this. That's crazy. You're talking $150 stock. with a 145 put at 500 bucks. Just I'll pass. The move's already been made. People are going to get murdered on that if they decide to try and trade it. Either they don't buy it close enough to the money, or they do and they just can't handle the pullbacks. All right, so let's see here. Let's work together, guys. Let's see here. Boeing, ENPH, entry 116 entry, and I did not get that entry. I did not take it.
No commitment. During our resolution to hear better event, call 1-800-MIRACLE.
All right. Just be patient. I'm being patient.
It's just something that we do around here. Okay, so first of all, Nvidia good out. Now, just as Neil mentioned there, we did have.
All right, so the SPY is coming into a bit of resistance here. Very small, but it's cleared the major level. That the real major level was 468.50 to 468.98, roughly. All right. Apple. APL. All right, look at Apple making a nice recovery, guys. That's a pretty nice support level there on the 200-day. Let's see here. This might be a nice. This might be some good opportunity here that nobody else is talking about. All right, we have room to the gap fill up at 184 flat, and there's many gaps above us. So. And look, it just decides to take right off. Let's see if we can get an entry here. See if it can pull itself back here to 183, but I don't think it's going to. I missed it. The entry would have been 182.50. You got to get long some of these names. Just watch, because the farther we go, we're starting to come into resistance, overhead supply. Look, what do we say? Microsoft. Microsoft was the other one from yesterday. 371, 370, 371. Right? All taken off. I may take an AMD call here. Okay, so here's that data. So look at this. We have a double top here on the SPY. You have a double top that broke. Nice entry long, right around 469.24. That'd be a nice entry point. That's what I'm going to look for. It's just, do I take it with AMD? Do I take the SPY? But to like trap every single day, move that market makes and identify it. You said, what Always try to learn more tactics. See, I wanna try and get this entry on the SPY, guys. Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second, guys. It may start to go. I was hoping this thing would have pulled back just a little bit more for me, but it didn't. All right, I want this entry. I went 469.25 area. All right, I think it'll still give it to me. I think the SPY is still going to pull back. Let's go look at the Qs. Unless we break through this high, then you're going to see an increase in volume to try and get through 470. I still think you get a small pullback to get this fill. And there it went. It just jumped. All right, sorry about that. My cat was at the door. All right, so again, right now, what I'm looking for is a possible SPY. It's already ran on me, so it is what it is. The Qs are going. Just if you do end up getting long the indexes, watch the IWM here. See if it starts to pull itself back off of that level. Watch the Dow, because if you start seeing the IWM and the Dow, I assure you the Qs will start to also pull themselves back. But the Qs have some meat on the bone. The Qs have a decent way to get back up to like 404 area, right? Very doable. Just gotta. I'm looking for the dip personally. Even though that dip already happened, as you can see here. All right, they've already pulled back and given you. Look at the strength. Look at the strength. You're seeing it in semiconductors. You know, it is what it is right out the gate. I said it yesterday and this weekend that Monday was going to be the day, and then probably rest Tuesday and Wednesday, right? It's just how it is, right? Everybody's back at the desk. second week of the year. You know, these stocks are on their lows. So, all right, that's a low volume push on the S&Ps. Again, I want this area. I want this level right there. I'm going to be picky with it. 420, 469.20s. All right, 3-minute chart here. This is what I want. 469.25. I want it. I'm not doing anything unless I get it. Same thing with semiconductors. All right, ENPH is on the list. We said we wanted a 116 entry. I didn't take it because look at the volume. The volume just didn't match up. So this thing is pulling back off of this level now. Let's see here. You know, and you can see it here rejecting 117. So there's probably some more downside. And it may try to work its way down to the 100-day around 113 area. Semis are running right now. And with an upgrade, this thing is only up 1%. Okay, Wells Fargo upgraded EMPH. Let's go back to Boeing. Boeing now making this resistance. Hold on, let me shut this door. My girl keeps coming in and out. So this looks good. Look at this Boeing right here. I want to, like, my goal is to get this to turn 231 into resistance. It was prior resistance in the support, and it never tested it again. So why is okay? Because I was gonna say that's not what Boeing's doing. Like that's not the chart. Here we go. Let me take this Fibonacci retracement away. I can already. I don't need a Fibonacci retracement to tell me where 20%, 32%, 38.2% is. Like I already know. I can look at it and tell. So pretty solid resistance here. Trying to hold on that 50-day moving average. It's trading a bit flat, but that doesn't mean that I don't think that it pulls back further. I do. I think we get a deeper pullback in Boeing. I knew my little girl was going to be a pain in the ass because I gave her food and she just can't wait until 11 o'clock and she just wants something different. All right, guys, let's do this. Where are we at? Can you guys hit the like button? That'd be sweet. If you could, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Where are we at? 12 views. That's poop. We can do better than that. There's the break on Boeing. There's your break on Boeing. Let's see if the volume tries to pick up a bit here. Let's see if the volume picks up. There's your trade line coming in. All right, trade line's coming in. All right, so again, 232. All right, 230. I'm sorry, not 232. I'm sorry. 231. 231's around the area that I would like to see if we can grab a short. 230, 231. I still think she's going down. I do. All right, so AMD got to the gap fill. That was the plan yesterday, was to say, hey, See if we can get long some of these semiconductors and ride them up to their gap fills. See what they do here. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee and I'll be right back.
Go up to 5%. To see that again. So really what you've done is you've taken the bottom out, right? You've lifted the bottom at this point in time. That doesn't mean that the high end goes higher. That just means you've taken some risk out of the market. And you're right, that's a positive. How bullish that is, it's to be decided.
Well, you don't think so. You don't think the market's going to go up this year.
Well, no, we really think the market's going to be more flat. What you want to do is you want to trade the market. You want to position in certain sectors. You want some risk off, utilities, healthcare, but you want to barbell that with something more positive, Garpy, which is communication, right? And at the end of the day, don't get married to positions. Really trade around them.
So what does that mean for the so-called Mag 7? It sounds like maybe you like some of them.
Yeah, we do like some of them. There's a few in that communication space, but really, if you're looking for the best risk reward, we think your best risk reward is in mid-cap growth. If you want to buy something, if you want to own something longer term, mid-cap growth is a place we want you to be. Good valuation, good technicals, and longer-term self-help. You don't need to rely on the economy for these things to work.
Really quick, just because we got the banks, including Wells, on Friday, where do you think? How do you think they comment on where we are right now?
I think they strike a balance. They say the consumer's okay, but don't get too excited. There's a lot of uncertainty here. We haven't gotten the credit cycle. The credit cycle hasn't hit. A lot of people are mitigating it, and I understand why. But I think they're gonna strike a healthy balance. That there's some good, there's some bad.
We'll see. That's still a few days away. Chris, good to check in with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Harvey.
As we had to break, here's our roadmap for the rest of the hour. Shares of Boeing are plunging right now after the FAA grounds dozens of certain types of 737 jets over safety concerns. We'll discuss whether this is a short-term issue or a longer-term problem for Boeing and be joined by a Boeing whistleblower with his take.
Plus, Apple CEO Tim Cook is giving new details about the Vision Pro. His comments come as shares hover around 8-week lows, although up today, are close to breaking key support levels. We're going to discuss what is ahead for Apple stock and the company.
And crypto investors holding their breath as the SEC faces a deadline this week to approve or reject the first ever Bitcoin ETF. Talk about what investors need to know ahead of that decision as Squawk on the Street continues after this break.
Boeing, the biggest loser and drag on the Dow Jones Industrial Average and one of the biggest laggards in the S&P this morning. The FAA grounding dozens of 737 MAX 9 planes after a piece of the aircraft blew out during an Alaska Airlines flight on Friday. Let's get to Phil LeBeau with the latest. Phil.
And Sarah, let me give you an update on where the investigation stands, because the NTSB and the FAA are both working not only to figure out what happened, but also what airlines who have a MAX 9 should do to inspect those planes. So in terms of the investigation into the Alaska Airlines flight, the focus for the NTSB investigators, it's the plug that was ripped off of the 737 MAX 9 on Friday night on a flight from Portland to Southern California. They have found the plug, by the way, and they are looking at that in addition to what you see here, which is the hole in the side of the airplane. 171 MAX 9s have been grounded. Alaska and United have been adjusting their schedules. They're the two U.S. airlines that fly the MAX 9. In terms of the global fleet, 218 have been delivered, but just 171 of them have the plug and the...
All right, let's go. Look, it went up. It just got up in there. Shat. I told you guys. All right. Damn it.
Grounded until the FAA can determine what is the process for doing an investigation. So you know exactly what you need to check for to see if there are other planes that might have a problem.
Yeah, Apple was a real nice long, because I was like, it's going to be one of those names that's a hot commodity, and with semiconductors, Boeing, it's going to get overlooked. That was my same exact thought. My same exact thought.
Take a look at shares of Boeing. It is looking at the MAX 9 is just 2% of its 737 backlog.
Look at that 100-day moving average. Retested it. A lot of opportunity out here. I got to get something going. I got to get something going here. This is a day of opportunity. All right, look at the trade line way up there. 50-day moving average way up here. 184 was my target, though. This is why it's hard for me to get long, because the targets are reached. We're there. There's a double bottom right here, and I don't know if it gives you much more. Nice job. Nice job. Sometimes it's like that. That's the target. That's why I don't have any more lines above this level, because, maybe you get to 186, but that fucking blows, man. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that, you have a thesis, you have a few names, and they just, the move gets taken away from you pre-market. It is, it happens a lot. It's not the first, and it won't be the last time that happens. That doesn't mean we give up, though. That doesn't mean we give up. Okay, there's always something out there to trade. This move can always give you that further pullback as well. That pullback to go higher. Not something I'd recommend, for anybody that's a beginner trader. But and look there, guys. So Microsoft is suffering. Microsoft is struggling right here again. I told you guys this weekend, 371 and 370 was going to be the area to see if we could take a short. All right. The thing is I want to let's look at this. Let's dive in and dissect exactly what's going on here. See, I don't like that. I want a low volume bounce. This is going to very well hold and then go ahead and try to attempt to get a new high up to 372. So we'll see what the market gives us today. If it gives us a pullback where we think we can get a long and get, put in that longer term high on some of these names, like Microsoft, to see if we can be cool if we could get 373, 374.
Other airplanes, the 777, the 67, and 87, And, it's our understanding that the FAA was unaware of these quality control inspections that have been in place for many, many years. And it wasn't until a couple whistleblowers reported internally, and this is recent, that these quality control inspections were removed. The union has been fighting back to reinstate these inspections, and they've reinstated many of them, but not all of them. And so there's planes that have left these factories with, in some cases, thousands of inspections. I'm talking individual airplanes now that have left the factory without these inspections. And, this is just, I don't even think the airline.
Nvidia is a fucking animal. Animal. This is why I said don't fight it, because I think this stock goes higher and makes a new high, and it did. I'm pretty sure I said it yesterday and Saturday. In one of those two videos this past weekend, I told you I would look for Nvidia to put in an all-time high and then get the reversal. All right, so here's AMD, pulling back off of this, pulling back off of the gap. Okay, pulling back off of that gap area. Look at the volume here on the 1 minute. That volume's getting bigger, so we could easily see a VWAP, a test of VWAP in that 143 level. This guy saying that they shouldn't be having problems. He's right, but in the same token, you're talking about brand new planes. As time goes on, you're going to start to see the defective side of things. It happens in the automotive industry. Same thing happens in the automotive industry. When you take a new when you redesign your vehicles, what happens the first 2 to 3 years is when you start getting the recalls. You start learning what worked and what didn't work. But you can't do that with the plane. So yes, it is something that can happen, and it should not be expected that something wouldn't happen. All right, so let's see what happens here at this area on AMD. It looks like you're coming into a bit of resistance here. VWAP is so high. That is insane. It's just elevated. See if we can get ourselves a bit of a pullback off of this level. I hate to be the one to fight the trend, but what else you to do other than not trade? That would be the other thing. Look at Meta. Meta's pulling back in. This might this could be an opportunity here, guys, on Meta, ladies and gents. Meta looks nice. Let's look at this. I kind of take that back, but if this area can hold, I wouldn't mind looking for another opportunity at 352. And that's what the dotted line is for, is to see if we can hold that level. Let's see if it pulls back and tries to give us like this double bottom off of yesterday's close, and then see if we can get an extension higher. That's what I'm going to look for out of Meta. All right, I think the 15-minute, half-hour time frame, I think we still have time. All right, for a pullback. I still think it's going to give us a pullback. I would much rather though have seen 354 hold actually, but this still isn't that bad. So if this thing bounces to this 15-minute trade line, we could easily probably get a short here. Let's look at the SPY and the Qs and see if they look like they want to pull back a bit, which could help give us the inclination that we could get a short here on Meta. All right, right here off of this 15-minute trade line and 15-minute VWAP. All right, that might actually be the better play. We'll see here in a minute. We'll see what this volume does. If we can break through this level of 354, then it's on. See this rejection? And if you're looking at AMD right now and you think a short is juicy, be careful. Be careful. Make sure it's worth it, because this thing could just break up into that gap. All right, the volume's to the buy side. I'm looking at it right now myself like I want to short it, but I feel like I'm not sure if there's much meat on the bone. Here she goes. All right, here she goes. And there's the flag right here. Boop, boop. And it's pulling back. Let's see what happens. And I didn't know, is my camera frozen? I don't know if it is. No, I'm good. All right, here it goes. Here she goes. She's either going to try to give itself a breakout, a failed breakout to the upside, or it's going to just start pulling itself back and try to retest some of these levels. So you can see here, I'm looking at Meta, all right, and what did we say? We wanted to see if we could get a bit of a pullback to try and take this long, all right. There's a couple things, right? This area is resistance. It never broke it and held it. I don't think this is a bullish setup. Personally, I feel like you're limited to your upside. Like, where are you going to go? High a day? I think you'll be lucky to break high a day. 358 would be a nice target to the long side, but you know, um, even then, 358, 360 is still $2 a contract. It's not bad, but it's in my book. I think it's bad because I don't think it gets there. There's no momentum. So let me just go back to Boeing, and that's where I will focus on, making my money today. Here we go. We're working up into that level, guys. All right. This is where I want this level. 231. That's where I want to look to see if I can get a short. I wouldn't mind taking a piece here. All right, I'll let you guys know when I take it. I am looking to get a Boeing short here, up here in this area. That sucks because that was the entry, guys. Damn it. Um, they were just at like they were. Fuck. All right, what I'm gonna look for in a 1 minute chart is to see if I can get a lower bounce higher to get this, but I feel like they're going to be all over it now, and I may have to pay up for it. Now the spreads are wide. Like, we had such an opportunity there to get it at 116, 115, 110. Oh, no. Like, they're already up almost $50 a contract. So, you know, we need to bounce back. I want to bounce back. We may have to pay up for this. All right, but look, see this bounce. You're going to get those quick flashes, so if we can, let's try to get these bounces. Watch your level 2. I'm looking at this week's 220s. All right, the last one was filled around 135, it looks like. All right, I'm see they're not moving. 131. I'm gonna try and get in here, because I just seen these at 115. So also what I'm looking at here, guys, is my 15-minute trade line. It's way up here, but I think we can get a pullback to bring it down further. 125, and this is a low volume. They're still buying this name. They're still buying it. Here we go, 115. I just took it. Oh, I got filled horribly. I think. Oh, man, and I'm going to be down, I think. Shat. Let's see here. So, price, yeah. All right, I market ordered in, unfortunately. And, yeah, so I'm in. I just grabbed a couple of those 220 puts. What I don't like is the volume on the breakout here. Okay, I don't like that. You see, if I would have waited for 230, that you know, that's not good. Like, so now we have some volume here so that was a low volume bounce back. All right, this is, yeah, I want to get out of this here in a minute. I'll give it a minute and see if I can get back out, but this is your resistance level here, and it's just, look at the volume. The volume's increasing, so you know, sometimes it's like that. That is what it is. All right, the 15-minute trade line's way up here at 235. So, and what else is going on here is the fact that the market is pulling this higher. All right, this market's pulling it higher. So with the market being strong like it is, you know, that's only given to the. It's only helping Boeing out. But I still believe that this should pull back. God, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to get ran over. Dude, look at this squeeze. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Hold on here. All right, this is it right there. That's going to be my. Hold on, did I put a line there? Yeah, because 235 is where the trade line is. Fuck, I should have just taken that damn long. All right, so I put in some limit orders. This was again our this was our target. This is where they sell in 235. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. You know, mistakes happen. It is what it is. Let's see if we can get a pullback. This all the volume's clearly to the buy side. Clearly the volume's to the buy side. Shit, I gotta move this limit order. Alright, so now you're gonna see me adjust this. You guys are gonna see me. Hopefully I don't get filled here and I can move this around. Alright, I set it at $1. Can't believe I fell for that low volume pullback. I can't believe I fell for it. They got me. They got me. They got me. That was a mistake on my part, you know. That was a mistake on my part. I'm seeing here 235 is the area that I want to be short. Right? 235 is that prior double top. And you know, that's the area, 235. That's where you want to look to get short if you want to get short. Let's see if it fills me here coming down. The ask is not going up to 95. You can see $1.01. All right, I'm at $1. So see if I can get stopped out of this. We'll see what happens. Because I still think you can get this pullback right down into like 230, right? That 230 level. In order for this trade line on a 15-minute, I feel like this 15-minute candle needs to pull itself back to bring this trade line back down. And that would help it, you know, pull back and then jump back up into it. So let me try to fool with this order. I'm going to leave it at $1 to see if it takes it. And I will, you know, adjust it as it goes if I think that if I think I can get this 230 level, because if I get this 230 level, I might be able to get out of like 115, 110, and I want to manage this. All right, so I'll let you guys know what it is I'm doing. And so again, like I said, the SPY is coming up to that triple top. See if the SPY can pull itself back. All right, feel like the SPY's got to see if it can pull itself back. It may not. You know, because people are hungry. They got to put capital to work. So I'm just not getting the dollar. I could try to raise it to 97. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Like, come on, Spy. You know you want to pull back to 469. 469. It wants to pull back there. This is setting up really bullish for Boeing. That's a low volume pullback. Oh God, I'm gonna be in a world of hurt. Not like in a world of hurt, but man, this is gonna suck. This thing's gonna blast off. Low volume pullback. Boom. Look at the increase in volume coming in. God damn it. All right, so I changed that order. I pulled it down to 98 to see if we can put in a double top here and see if we can pull it back. And see if they can come get me a fill and just get me out of this thing. And look for an entry elsewhere. All right, look for an entry elsewhere. The SPY has a little bit more to go. It's got about 34. It's got about 40 cents to go before it's up into the resistance level. All right, that's around 471.
Net credit. Credit to the people.
That's a nice resistance level there, guys. So let me see if I can take this. I'm gonna try and take this to $1 now. Let's come on, come on, come on, come on. See if it might fill me, because I have it at 98 cents. Let's see if it fills me. I still haven't gotten filled. All right. So the bid's coming up. They're at $1.04. All right, I got filled. Oh no, that sucks. Yeah, I got filled. It is what it is. All right, it is what it is. That's a small loss. I hate to start the week out with that, but that's okay. All right, that's all right. I'll take it. All right, I'll take it. Because now we're fighting this level here. All right, and you're fighting that 15-minute trade line without pre-market hours up here in this area. So it pulled back, grabbed liquidity. They took my shares off of me. And look, let's see if it starts to go here. See if it starts to break out. And now I'll be nervous to take this fucking thing again because just, I still think on the 15-minute chart, it's going to pull back to like 230. I still think we could get that pullback to 230. I do. It's personal opinion. Doesn't mean we will. Doesn't mean we won't. But I think we can get a pullback to 230. And this is where I should have taken my entry, and it is what it is. I didn't. So, I mean, so it's all right. Things happen. That's how you manage risk. You just have to know that you're wrong, and readjust your analysis. Figure out where you're wrong. All right, I did lose more than that than I wanted to, but it is what it is. Sometimes that's what happens. I just got to make it up. Just got to make it up. Got to go forward, not backwards. Let's go look here. So it's 11 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock. Not sure how much longer I'll be on here for. AMD already made the move. I missed this. I wanted to look at it. And look, there it is. That failed breakdown, and it ended up going higher. Some of these names just took off on me. Just took off, so. Microsoft is lagging the market again, right? Market's up. Look at the S&Ps. All right, S&Ps are up 0.5%. Microsoft's up 0.75%, while Apple, AMD, Nvidia, right? They're all up a percent or two, right? Oh shit! Hold on one second. AAPL. Sorry about that. Apple's up 1.3%. This was another long idea that I had, and I missed it. I'm not giving up though. I'm not giving up. We don't give up. We're not quitters. All right. So there's the bounce on Meta. I'm going to scan these markets and see if I can find something. Depending on whether or not I do, I'll let you guys know. And I may, I'll probably call it here in another half hour or so. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions or any topics or anything you guys want to cover, throw it in the chat if you just want to say hi, give us a like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I know it's far from where we're at, but that's the goal I've set because, I think we can do it. I don't think it's that hard. 2, I have some people that I would like to bring on to the live stream and really give you guys a really cool experience. All right? So by hitting the subscribe, hitting the like button, you could help me do that. I gotta get better with my speaking. All right, my speaking is awful. But one thing that isn't is my trading, and I'd rather it be my speaking than my trading, right? So here's Meta. Let's go look and see what we have with Meta, because I was just looking at this a few minutes ago, and I thought about the long on Meta here. It's just Meta's Meta. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. The thing with Meta is, I forget what it was that I was looking at, but Yes, right here. So, see, I was thinking we could take it to that level. But you can see this rejection here at 355. All right, that rejection there. It's not big volume either. It's not like it's killer volume to the downside. It's just a hits the level, pulls back, and then the volume on the either low or high or whatever we're putting in here. Okay, this is even smaller. Look at the volume on that bounce. That's not what you want, right? Look at that volume, right? Look at it. It's trending down while the stock's going up. And the volume is getting lighter and lighter on that bounce. So chances are this is your, 355 is where you want to take it short. All right. So where is the target, though? Where is she going? Like, what's going on here? Well, looks like we may be able to get a short down to 347.50. And you know what? I may go for that. All right. I just hurt myself with Boeing a little bit, so I'm limping right now. Let's see what the prices are, and I may try to get a pullback on Meta and see if we can get this 348 short on Meta. That's where I'd like to get to. Let's see what we got. And what I'm looking for is a SPY to pull back as well. And it's starting to, it feels like it's starting to get into that area. So I think the SPY can like pull back to 469.94 and then work its way up to that real resistance level of 471. Okay, 471 is the area, the real area that I'm want to see if the SPY just gives that, pullback at. All right, let's look at Meta here. See if it breaks that level. See if it breaks through here, and we can see if it gives us another opportunity at 355 to 355.45. I think that is 355.55.
All of these numbers are down below the long run averages of these series, and in some
353.50.
below even the
It's a nice rejection there.
So you can see that this is a definite, from a Fed standpoint, if this holds, it's just 1 month's worth of data. It's back to a sense of normalcy of where
I'm telling you guys, I think Meta could be a nice short. I think it could give us a nice pullback. Just let me make sure I'm getting all the analysis done and I'm getting my entries correct, because I don't want another Boeing. And I'm sure Boeing's probably on its way down. It's just I messed up on the entry. It's all good. It happens. 469. And it's okay to be long Boeing because you'll get those bounces, right? You can't short the lows. You got to short the highs and buy the lows. That's the psychology that everybody thinks is easy, right? Buy low, sell high. Well, go ahead. The doors blew off of fucking Boeing, and luckily nobody died. Go buy that stock off the low, right? But yeah. Look at this rejection. It's real. They're really holding this. These market makers and these traders are really holding this level as resistance. I figured it would break. All right. So what I'm looking for The only way I'm going to take this short is right here up at like 234. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so if we look here on a daily chart, it has now went through that level. Look for a pullback to 230. See if it pulls back to 230. It has to retest this 230 level in order to march. The next target would be 240 area. 235 really, because you have that 15-minute trade line coming in to possibly act as resistance there. What was I doing? I know I was doing something. I can't remember what it was. Shat. There's a failed breakout there, guys. Now we're turning that area back into resistance. Possibly. This is a real fight here on Boeing. What was I going to do? I forget what I was going to do, guys. If I could get some help. It's a little upsetting, man, today. Because I feel like today is the day. Before we go on, like, before the markets calm down tomorrow and going into Wednesday, then we get the jobs number. ENPH. I forget what I was trying to do. So ENPH is sideways. Meta. Let's go through some of these names. I really wish we could listen to music on here. If YouTube would. Here goes Microsoft. That's a nice consolidation and a hold here. Look at that hold. That's a strong hold, guys. I would actually take a picture of this 3-minute chart and I would save this chart for future reference. I would save that because that's a long bull flag all the way up and out until 11 o'clock. Who's going to give up? All right, who's going to give up? It's pretty clear the bulls are holding it up. And it's pretty clear the bulls are trying to sink this thing and it's not sinking. So what happens here? Failed breakout, or it breaks out to the upside. I'm curious to find out.
Besides geopolitics, the other big bear case that you hear from the bears.
All right, there's the test. Oh, Microsoft right there.
They spell out recessionary concerns. The fact that, there are long and variable lags to monetary policy that we have not felt yet. There's still a case to be made.
Where's level 2?
The risk isn't totally gone, but I think, people always say when someone says this time is different, it's dangerous words. I think every time is different. And so when I look at what's happening this time, we entered this rate hike cycle after $5.3 trillion of fiscal stimulus in the United States. It should be no surprise that the consumer has done well. I mean, we've all talked about excess savings balances.
All right, what we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? What we got?
$1 trillion of excess savings when the Fed started raising rates. So I do think this time is different in that the households had the dry powder to see their way through higher gas prices, higher rent, higher healthcare costs, and now they're basically getting their confidence back that the Fed has inflation under control.
And getting jobs and wages.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ron, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The perspective. Ron Temple from Lazard.
Still to come this morning, Boeing shares continue to slide after grounding more than 170 planes after that door plug blew out in the middle of an Alaska Airlines flight. We'll take a look at some of the reaction from the analyst community today with the stock on pace for the worst day since October of 22.
Okay.
Plus, speaking of aerospace, we are live in Cape Canaveral today as the U.S. launches its first moon landing mission in about 5 decades. Of course, our Morgan Brennan is there and has more on what's coming up. Hi, Morgan.
That's right. Speaking of aerospace, speaking of Boeing, the Boeing Lockheed Martin joint venture United Launch Alliance sending its next-gen powerful rockets to space for the first time on board.
I wonder if the doors are going to blow off of this rocket.
Of this commercial space race. After the break, we go to the moon.
Gotta love Morgan Brennan. Gotta love Morgan Brennan. Alright, so guys, let's see where that's taken off at. Let's go see real quick. Let's see where this is taken off at, and man, I don't know how much I'm not feeling too well this morning. Let's see, where is, I wonder if it's in Virginia. Let me see. Let's see something. Wait, what? It already went? No, this can't be real.
With all the plane shortages, did you have trouble finding one? I never have any trouble. I simply pick a plane, pay, and I'm ready to badge it to my destination. Are there any taxis around? I'm really late for my meeting. Do we have a deal? Missed you at the meeting today. Badge it and don't miss out on the most important moments of your life.
Call for a $20,000 flight credit.
Every January, JP Morgan holds its annual healthcare conference.
The Consumer Electronics Show is back in Las Vegas. We are live from the World Economic
Hold
Forum
on.
in Davos, Switzerland.
Is your forecast for a soft landing?
Get ready to start a new trading year.
CNBC Podcasts. All your shows on the go. The latest market news and analysis. Ready when you are. Don't miss out. Listen to CNBC.
Let's take it to YouTube, see if we can't find this son of a gun live. And yes, my YouTube thinks I'm black. It's funny, isn't it? It's hilarious, actually. It's hilarious. Look, like, it's funny. So, what's 2 years ago? 2 weeks ago.
Attention, the government
Whoa,
consuming to pay
sorry,
you
guys.
$1,000 a month, no matter how much money you make
I'm
or
sure.
what you do for a living.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's see what we got here.
New Shepard.
No, Boeing launch.
Bring you up to speed because we've got a number of developments, and we think we may have something here in the next few hours in terms of the investigation. First of all, the is on
All right, so
that is the deactivated door that was pulled off of the 737 MAX.
so listen to this.
Pressurization problems were documented at least 3 times before this flight on Friday night when the blowout occurred.
So they're saying that they could get some information here in an hour or two, and that lines us up with the 15-minute trade line, guys.
Boeing, of course, getting hammered after that panel blew out from an Alaska Airlines flight on Friday, forcing the company and other airlines to ground flights. Our Phil LeBeau here with the latest on the investigation and what we've learned. Phil.
Look, it's coming right into it now.
And Sarah, let me bring you up to speed because we've got a number of developments, and we think we may have something here in the next few hours in terms of the investigation. First of all, the focus is on the fuselage plug. That is the deactivated door that was pulled off of the 737 MAX-9. Pressurization problems were documented at least 3 times before this flight on Friday night when the blowout occurred. The grounding duration, that remains unclear. Let me give you a sense of what's happening here because there are 2 things going on separate tracks but related tracks. First, the NTSB is analyzing the flight data recorder in addition to analyzing the aircraft, which is parked at this airport in Portland, as well as the fuselage plug that has been recovered. As they look at that separately, the FAA and Boeing are discussing the inspection process that Alaska, United, and 6 other airlines will go through so that they can look at their Dash 9s and say, yes, we believe these planes are safe to return to service. Just to give you some perspective, there's not a lot of Dash 9s out there relative to other commercial airplanes, but there is a substantial number. 218 have been delivered. Of that, the grounding order impacts 171 Dash 9s. Again, the bulk of these are flown by Alaska and United. You've got United with 79 Dash 9s, Alaska 65. 6 other foreign carriers have 74
there's the
Dash
meta
9s.
pullback.
Boeing says
Let me look at these
CEO
options.
Dave Calhoun has arrived.
Sorry.
And will be. He will hold an employee town hall meeting tomorrow, along with other Boeing leaders. The focus will be on quality control and reinforcing the message that Boeing has to do a better job when it comes to manufacturing aircraft. Finally, take a look at shares of Spirit Aerosystems under a lot of pressure because it makes the fuselage, also makes the plug, and what role it may have played in this, hard to determine at this point once the NTSB finishes its investigation.
All right, I'm going to look at a meta.
Hey, Phil,
I'm looking
you
at
mentioned
meta
earlier
here.
This town hall meeting regarding safety at Boeing. What is their message internally right now?
We've got to do a better job. In layman's terms, that's basically what they're saying. And Dave Calhoun believes that Stan Dale and his team are doing a better job. Now, there are critics out there who say, no, that's not the case. I can tell you from discussing with airline executives when we do our quarterly interviews, and we ask them, you know, the aircraft that you're getting from Boeing right now, well, you know, they're not. They would love to see them come at a faster rate, but how's the quality? And almost all of them say the same thing. The aircraft that are delivered when they get them from Boeing are ready to go much quicker, and the quality is better than, let's say, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So there has been improvement there, at least anecdotally. That's what I'm hearing from airline executives.
Phil, thanks. Phil LeBeau, obviously a huge story today. For more on what to expect from the stock moving forward, let's check in with Bernstein analyst Doug Harned. Doug, it's great to have you. It sounds like you think this is more of a one-off than a situation that would necessitate a design redo, right?
Yeah, I think you have to, and as was said on the NTSB conference call last night, I mean, the first look is at this airplane itself at Alaska, and that's what they're doing, and that's what Phil was talking about. And I think if you look at the history of this type of deactivated door, they're not uncommon. They're used on Airbus planes. They're used on the 737-900ER, the legacy airplane before the MAX, used these. We haven't seen any incidents with respect to those. And so at first blush, I would not think this is fundamentally different as far as an incident than if you had an actual activated door blowout.
Can you talk a bit about the responsibility between the production of the part or the assembly of the fuselage versus the inspection responsibilities of Boeing itself?
Well, I think this falls, if it turns out, and the fuselage is delivered from Spirit with the door, so that's the origin of this. And as we know, there have been a number of problems at Spirit that have tail fittings, holes being drilled, those sorts of things. So Spirit's had a history here of issues that we believe that the change in management with Pat Shanahan taking over at Spirit, they've already made changes in the management team, that they're addressing those blocking and tackling issues. If it turns out that's where this originated, we think that is on the, these issues are being addressed in the right way at Spirit. Hopefully we won't see more of this. However, I don't think you can totally take the responsibility away from Boeing. At the end of the day, Boeing is delivering this airplane and has responsibility for these issues. And I think you can there I'm sure will be work. There were 3 issues in terms of pressurization warnings on this airplane prior to this. And so I think there are questions as well. You've got to look at any maintenance work that had been done at Alaska also to identify, is this a one-off issue? Our belief is it's unlikely it's a broader fundamental design issue.
I understand what you mean when you say it's a one-off issue, but it's hard not to put it in the broader context, Doug, of the 2 MAX crashes. And I know that was under different management, and it was 5 years ago, and you said they put all sorts of systems in place. But for investors to wonder if there's still some real issues inside the company, that this is still happening.
Oh, I think you have to ask that question. I mean, this is a serious issue. It could have been considerably worse. This is an industry where you can't have failures. Single failures are a big problem. So if this is a one-off manufacturing issue at Spirit, yeah, I mean, this is one more thing that hits Boeing. But I do think we need to find out exactly what happened here. I am not at all surprised that the stock is down today. It was obviously had a very, very good year last year. And this brings up thoughts of all of the issues that have happened in the past. So the one comment I would make on this, though, is having a deactivated door issue like this, in our view, is not necessarily a MAX issue at all. This could have conceivably, we think, happened on a 737-900ER. Deactivated doors have been used for a long time, and Spirit has produced those.
Your point's well taken, especially given the recent fire in Japan. Now the complexities of the production and the operation of the airline business are incredible. Doug, thank you for that. Doug Harnett over at Bernstein today.
We'll stay in aerospace because the first lunar lander in more than 50 years launching off from Cape Canaveral early this morning. That's where we find our Morgan Brennan. Morgan, tell us about the significance of this.
Oh, so it did.
Okay, well, at 2:18 Eastern this morning, Sarah, United Launch Alliance's Vulcan
I
Centaur
thought
lifted
that it
off
did.
from just
I was
behind
wondering why we
Cape
couldn't find it
Canaveral
live.
in a maiden flight that was a decade in the making. It carried to space a privately owned robotic lander for startup Astrobotic and what has been poised to be the first attempted lunar landing by the U.S. in 5 decades. Unclear, though, now whether that's actually what is going to happen, because just moments ago, Astrobotic saying that it has suffered an anomaly, that an anomaly has occurred, which, quote, prevented Astrobotic from achieving a stable sun-pointing orientation. The team is responding in real time as the situation unfolds and will be providing updates as more data is obtained and analyzed. So unclear whether this mission has been compromised or whether, as they troubleshoot, they can basically right this situation and get everything back on track. We'll continue to monitor it. In the meantime, for United Launch Alliance, which is a Boeing Lockheed Martin joint venture, Vulcan already has a backlog of 70 missions, including dozens for Amazon, as that tech giant now builds out its satellite-based broadband service. But this was also the first of 2 flights that were necessary to certify ULA's powerful new rocket to fly national security missions.
Our nation is facing just tremendous challenges, both from Russia, but especially China, in being able to get in front of that with our access to space and our ability to keep space as a peaceful domain is absolutely critical. This platform is going to play a big role in that, especially because we specialize in those very difficult, unique to national security kind of orbits.
So ULA CO Tori Bruno telling me that between government demand and the proliferation of these commercial satellite mega constellations, that, quote, a scarcity of lift is probably going to last the better part of a decade, if not longer. So more demand than supply. Launch price is undisclosed. This is believed to put ULA in a much more competitive position with the industry leader, SpaceX. Also comes as ULA is on the sale block, though Bruno declined to comment on that. As for Astrobotic, which was contracted with NASA, we're going to continue to monitor
I want this.
that situation
this,
as it's
man.
playing out in real
this.
time. Keep in mind, though, it is not the only commercial company that is contracted with NASA to land cargo and conduct scientific research on the moon. Just next month, as of right now, another NASA-contracted lunar lander built by Intuitive Machines is also set to launch. In total, as of right now, on the manifest, we have 5, including today's mission, that are scheduled to blast off and head to the moon to attempt these types of landings. Guys?
Morgan's going to be fun to watch with your help. We'll see where we get what it looks like.
Carl Quintanilla, I kind of changed my opinion on him. He actually,
just this morning, the CEO
I
of
just,
Twilio announcing his
he's just
resignation
funny
after
because
bruising
I think
after
he's
his battles.
taking his CNBC role a little bit too far. My personal opinion. And it's okay. He's a human being in the United States of America. He can do whatever he wants. I'm just saying, my opinion on him. I used to like him a lot, and now my opinions have just changed on him because I feel like he has been putting out a little bit of propaganda stuff. You know, in regards to like Moderna and like Trump, and it's like there was an article that said it was pretty much saying that Trump told everybody to take it, and now studies are showing that the COVID vaccines could be harming people. So I'm like it could be. Well, of course it could, but it also could not be hurting someone. Like why waste your time posting something like that when you're on the news system? Like that's where we lose the respect. I kind of lost my respect for him by him putting that out. Like, what was the point? And I commented and I said, first off, let's have trust in our fellow Americans that they can do the job. And if something can't be done, that just can't be done, like beating cancer, right? And putting out like it could, and Trump told us to take it. Like, okay, well, a comet could come hit us at any time. They could have not counted all of the ballots. Again, 2020 was just a shit show in and of itself. Okay? It was the first time we went through it. So you could put out the same article saying Trump could have quite possibly actually won the election. Or he could not have. Okay? As far as the ballots are concerned. Like, we could come up with all this could. Like, why? What value? You're on national television, and what value is there, Carl Quintanilla? What value is there saying that it could be harming people, and the president told you to take it. Well, what about Biden's been telling you to take it and consistently take it and get your whatchamacallits? Where was that article? All right, well, how about the article that states whether or not it is or it is not harming people? Or this is the side effects. This is, like, what could is not an acceptable word here. Okay? So I lost my respect for Carl Quintanilla. I did. I really did. And I'm not going to take him serious anymore. Because it's like, why would you post it? You're free to do what you want, but what are you trying to get out of that post? Right? I can understand that it's about Trump and COVID and the vaccines. I get it, but could, like, this is not something that you post and it's like it's been proven, right? So I lost my respect for Carl. I really did. All right, there we go. There's Boeing. The volume is still poop. The volume is still poop on that downside. See if it increases. Damn it, man. I'm going to be frustrated. Let's see where we're at on the 15-minute. Let's see if it got there. See, it did. It did exactly that, guys. Went to the 15-minute trade line. Okay. And then, the volume still isn't there. So, low volume pullback and try to get a bounce. I think this stock's going to go lower. I do. I really do. All right, let me see what was I looking at? The 220s? Is that what we were looking at? The 220s? They're still holding up okay. They're getting demolished as the day goes on, but and now look, there's your resistance. Oh shit, I gotta call the whatchamacallit. I set an alarm. Shit. All right, guys. Let's see. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. I may call it a day. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Uh-oh, I might have messed the stream up. I may have messed the stream up. So this is going to be key, guys. So if anybody is wanting to watch Boeing, here's what my suggestion would be. I think Boeing's going higher, and I think we have to wait until about 240. All right, unless you start seeing this 15-minute volume really start to rise. But what I'm seeing, what I think is going to happen now is this this 9 EMA on the 15-minute trade line. All right. Possible pullback on lower volume, as you can see here. That pullback off of that 9 EMA, unless you start to see this bar here really start to pick itself up and close red, like something like this. Okay, unless you start to see something like that on the 15-minute chart. I should probably go to the other one. You can see it's going to, come on. You can see it's going to try and bump up to it again. What I'm trying to do here is just get this volume for you. So that's what I want to see, right? See if it bumps up into the 9 EMA one more time. And if you get this next 15-minute candle at lunchtime at 11:30, I mean, if you start to see this thing raising higher and increase in volume, then it may be time to start thinking about a 230 short, because we should get VWAP up here, get the 9 EMA. This whole area should be about where things are going to go down, because I don't think the stock's going to go much higher. All right, but 240 is still on the list. That I was talking about if we get an increase in volume on that sell-off. All right, if you don't get an increase in volume on the pullback on the 15-minute, then we're going to look for that light volume pullback. See if you can't get the bounce, get above the 9 EMA here, okay? We'll look to get above that 9 EMA right here, that yellow line. We'll look to get above it, pull back to it, hold it, bounce to 240, look at 240 for the short. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's exactly what I'm going to look for. And that's, you know, that's actually it should be about a 60% retracement from the close. Let me see here. Because I don't really need the Fibonacci to tell me whereabouts the pullback is from the low. And look at that. What is that? That's a 61.8 retracement. Okay. Sorry, 240 right here. 240.15. How about that? All right. How about that? So that's what I'm going to look for in Boeing. Meta is on the list. I think we could get a nice pullback on Meta if the markets pull back a bit. If we can get Meta, look at Meta. Look at the setup on Meta, guys. So it sounds like Biden's flying over. Look at that. Look at this support, support, support. You guys might be able to hear it, actually. And there were some fighter jets all day yesterday flying around here. Sounds like a couple of Apaches flying over right now. They're pretty low because it's loud. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. But anyway, Meta. I want to see if we can get Meta back down to like 245. Okay? 247, 248. This area, this previous support level. All right? If we get a bounce on Meta, I want to start seeing if we can get a low volume bounce on Meta, and I want to see if I can get a pullback there. I missed a lot of these longs. A lot of the longs I missed today because they just went out of the gate. And I didn't, you know, that's not where I want to be long. I don't want to be long halfway up the damn move. All right? I'm paying more. It pulls back. I have to start taking a loss. And then it pulls back. And then once it bounces and gets back to my entry, I'm still down. That's not how I operate. All right? So I would really think about, you know, some of the decisions. Like, if that stock is not where you want to get long, don't get long. If it's not where you want to get short, don't grab puts. Okay? But if you see it consolidating and holding a level and you're like, okay, I still got, you know, $5, $6 or, you know, 3, 4, 8% to the upside or downside and there's still some meat on the bone, then, you know, like Meta right now, right? I think Meta could probably bounce to 356. Okay? 356. It pulls back and maybe, just maybe, we get that 357 to 358 short. So that's what I'm looking for on Meta. I want to try to get it up there around 358 or so. And all I'm looking for is to see if I can take Meta back down to like this area of like 345, 346, 348. Really up here. I want it, because if it's going to go higher, it's got to make this support. Okay? It hasn't pulled back into it yet. Now, it looks like it did on the daily chart, but it hasn't. It hasn't. This looks like a beautiful setup on the daily chart. I think I'm going to get off here. All right. Here in a minute. So right here, like, this is weird because the stock didn't do this. The stock didn't open up here and pull all the way back and then go all the way up higher today. Am I wrong? All right, let's see here. That's a gap up and a pullback. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at this level. I'm sorry. It did pull back here. It did pull back because I was looking at this for a few minutes ago. But I still think that, like, we didn't. I guess it kind of did, but that's not. Like, I wouldn't consider this here a retest of 348. You know what I mean? This is just a trading sideways off the bell and it just rips. So I still think if Meta's going to attempt to climb higher, it comes with a pullback. And this is what's good about this trade. So whoever's here, you're about to learn something. Look at this daily chart. Let me show you guys something here. All right? You guys are about to go to school. Y'all about to get schooled. So check this out. Let's go to the monthly chart, the weekly chart, and the daily chart. I'm going to show you guys something here. All right? So there's the monthly chart, a bit oversold at the 70 RSI. Okay? Look at this low volume. You see how the volume, it's making new highs? Not new highs, but new yearly highs. But the volume has fallen out of bed. What else do we see? Look at the RSI. Okay? That's good. Let's go to a weekly chart. All right. Here's the weekly chart. Stocks makes a high. All right. Stock makes a high. The RSI makes a high. Stock makes a new high. The RSI makes a lower high. See that divergence? Stock's going higher. RSI is going lower. That's bearish divergence right there. 2. There's more to this thing. So, if the weekly chart RSI is right here, okay, let's go to the daily chart. Where do you think it is on the daily chart? I know where it's at. Do you know where it's going to be? In accordance, so I'm looking at the monthly, the weekly, and then we go look at the daily. Where do you think it's at? So if I use this daily chart, okay, same thing, bearish divergence. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. All right. So I want to see this actually start to get a bounce and put this right around here, right around this area here. And this is where I want to take the short on the daily chart. Okay. I gotta do that. I'm sorry. All right. And you can see here, the higher we go, the volume starts to pull back. But you got some nice volume there, but that's down here at 331. This is a nice test on a daily chart, like a nice look how the volume is increasing here. Okay, you have this increase in volume on the pullback. Okay, you don't want that. You want the opposite. You want a low volume pullback, and then this previous high, it wicks it. Okay, this looks like a very nice long setup, but as soon as we get up to my areas, I want to see this daily RSI make a lower high, and then what else would that do? What would that do for the weekly RSI? It would start to reject. I mean, it's going to happen in a week, so it's not really going to fool with it, but it'll solidify the lower high that it's trying to make right. So you guys can't see it, but it's trying to make. You can see that it's trying to make a lower high here. All right, and then let's keep it moving. What about the hourly, 4 hour? Okay, so here's what I'm getting at. I think we get a small pullback. Okay, we pull it back to like There's an hourly. Bang. Just give me 1 second. I want to see something. Yeah, everything is screaming pullback now. Yeah, I think Meta is going to pull itself back right now. I want to look for the short. I do. I want to look for the longer term short. Okay, so it broke. Where are we going to go? Probably 353. 353 should be enough depending on how fast or slow it gets there. Okay. On Meta. 353 flat. That's what I'm looking for. There's a little bit more into those charts and how to look at things that I would like to give you guys that I want to get across to you guys. So you guys are actually analyzing a chart the way they should be analyzed and being able to say, okay, going through the time frames, I'm seeing this, where your moving average is going to be. Once it pulls back, it should lift that 50-day up, where if it sells off, is the 50-day going to go lower? Like, it all depends. You got to understand what that price action is to the left of you in accordance to where your moving averages, RSI, volume, and all that is. And you can literally just paint the picture. I'm thinking there's a pullback coming here. All right? I'm thinking there's a pullback coming. All right? All right, guys. I might have to get up out of here. Let's go look at AMD real quick. So AMD's in the gap fill. We talked about these yesterday. I wanted this after the live stream yesterday. I looked at this level and I noticed, I'm like, man, if it pulls back into this area, I'm going to have a beautiful day right there. And I didn't have this marked out. 137. And it did it in the morning. It happens, guys. It happens. Sometimes trades are just, unless you buy the stock pre-market to get some skin in the game, sometimes that happens. Not sometimes, but it happens a lot. Coinbase was pulling back, and it regained its level. Let's go look at Boeing. And that's also what I'm thinking for Boeing. All right, I still think 240 is going to be the level for Boeing. You have nothing really here as far as the volume. The volume profile. Sorry. I just forgot what it was called there for a minute. You have a gap here, and you can really get this thing going back to this double top and attempt to reject it. And I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a 236 to 240 rejection. All right, that's what I'm looking for. We got that marked out. All right.
Welcome back. When it comes to finding value abroad, our next guest says steer clear of China, predicting a year full of losses for equity investors as struggling consumers.
If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm probably going to hop off of here. Let's go look at Microsoft. That's another short idea that I have. This is really one that I'm really looking. There was just some news.
Yeah, I don't accept the fact that China has the firepower to deal with this economic problem. They've only been in Western capital markets for a little over 20 years. And think about how long we were at it before we entered our financial crisis, and think about how bad we screwed it up. They've got almost 400%.
SID, another spike here in the Indian
Going into the financial crisis, we had about 100%, and the non-banks added another 0.7.
SIDU.
When you think about the sheer leverage in their system, and you think about their economic output and their dire need
or a desperate need for dollars, China's in a really precarious place.
Let's see what we got here. This is a long consolidation. All right, so Microsoft's breaking out of that level there. It's not surprising. Should not surprise you. You know, if you understand technical analysis, should not surprise you at all. All right, maybe I try and put this long on. You know, I am a short. I am short-minded with Microsoft, but you know, that's not up and that's not until we get to those real resistant levels. All right, if you watch the video this past weekend, you guys will know what those areas are. All right, so here we go. 372, 373. Yeah, 373 area. Make no sense. Yeah, it made no sense. Let's see here. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. She's just gonna go and go and go and go and go, and not give me an opportunity, is she? Let's see where the SPY is. Made no sense. Yeah, made no sense. All right, guys, that's probably about it for me. You guys have a great rest of your day. if you could do me a solid, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already subscribed. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes. 1,000. All right, I think we can. If you have any friends, bring them over. If you have questions, comment. Right? If you would like help, reach out. I'm serious. What is your future worth to you? Seriously, ask yourself that. What is your future worth to you? How much are you willing to give, and how hard are you willing to work? How much time are you willing to put in to get where you want to be in life? Right? Money is just an object. Money is just a tool that you can use to get you from here to there. The first thing you need to do is capital preservation and understand the definition and understand what it really means. Okay? That's your first goal. Your goal is not to make money. Your goal is to not lose money. And if you start to lose money, you need to make sure that that money is less than the money that you're going to make when you're right. All right? It's so important. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be in this wheel, and you're not going to get anywhere. And you're really not going to make moves. And that equity curve is not going to go higher. You're not going to be able to compound and really get that $1 million trading account. You know? You got to put in the work. You got to, swing for the fences. And listen, it's possible. It is. It is. You just have to get educated enough to learn how to do this. And if you would like to do that, my link is in the bio. Reach out. We can do some mentor sessions, go over classes, whether you're a beginner trader, whether you've been trading for a few years, whether you just would like to ask some of the things that I do. All right. You guys know some of the risks that we put out. I put out a video this week. If you haven't seen that video, go watch that video. It's important. I think it's one of the most important events of 2024. All right, guys. Stay sharp. Hit the like button, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. If we're able to get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll do a giveaway. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you guys this afternoon. Have a great rest of your day. If I get into anything today, I'll put it in the comment section below. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Like, subscribe, share. See you guys.